Video game adaptations are the future of Hollywood. With the recent successes of The Last of Us and the Mario movie, it's safe to say that more and more of our beloved game franchises will be receiving adaptations in the future, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, baby!
However, creating a video game adaptation is a tremendously challenging task, especially considering many of the game franchises already have a dedicated community, with clear expectations about how their beloved franchise should be portrayed on the big or small screen. And those expectations aren't always met for a variety of reasons I want to talk to you about today.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So, here I present the essentials of a great game adaptation. Many types of games exist. There are story-focused games and there are pure gameplay-focused games. Some games feature a self-insert main character, while others have a defined protagonist. There are games that convey a story through lore and world building, while others tell a more direct story from beginning to end. Due to these differences, different adaptations require different approaches. For one, an important choice is which medium to use, animation or live action. Animation often works better for games that are less grounded in reality, for example high fantasy or sci-fi, as well as those games that are influenced by anime to begin with. I still don't understand why they even bother making these god-awful live-action anime adaptations. They clearly don't work, they're just plain weird.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Another choice to be made is whether to create a fully original story or adapt the story of the game one-on-one. For example, if the game already has a well-defined and exceptional story, it may be challenging to improve upon it, so doing a fully faithful retelling might be your best option there. There are numerous examples of creators having made the right choices, with The Last of Us and the Mario movie being the two most recent successes. First, the Mario movie thrives way more in the realm of animation than it does in live action for, well, obvious reasons. It aligns way more with the whimsical nature of the games. On top of that, given that the original Mario games pretty much lack a substantial story, a direct adaptation was implausible. Instead, the creators opted for an original story, incorporating themes and ideas from all the different Mario games, doing justice to the entire franchise. As for The Last of Us, the game was inherently suited for a live-action TV adaptation, given that the game itself's story also was structured in a similar way. Furthermore, retelling the story of the original game instead of crafting a completely different story was also the right decision. The Last of Us is one of the most critically acclaimed games. If the creatives tried to come up with a fully original story, it would have likely fallen short, leading only to disappointment. But taking the existing story and characters and adding substance and twists to it did work out for them. And that is because those twists and those additions would have also worked in the game itself. It wouldn't make the game any less, it would actually also improve upon it. It succeeded because of the respect they had for the source material. And that's the topic I'll cover next. The Assassin's Creed movie. It's been a while since this movie came out, but oh boy haven't I forgotten what a disaster that movie was. Why did it fail? Well, that isn't too hard to explain. Why do people play Assassin's Creed? For exploring a historical setting as a badass assassin. What does the movie put front and center? A modern day Abstergo storyline no one cares about, with only like 10% of the movie being assassinations in a historical setting. What is one of Assassin's Creed's biggest strengths? The amazing classical soundtrack that is seen as some of the best in gaming. Then they dropped the first Assassin's Creed movie trailer with a generic rap song in the background.
I am a god, even though I'm a man of God. My whole life in the hand of God, so y'all better quit playing with God.
This tells me creative choices were made without any respect for the source material, and in return, it resulted in absolute failure. Respecting the source material and what it represents is one of the most important fundamentals of creating a hit game adaptation. The most successful game adaptations in the world were all in touch with the game, its themes, and what it meant to the player. And that means putting the game's strength front and center for everyone to see. Unlike the Halo TV show, who did the exact opposite. People play Halo to play a badass skilled Spartan, to slay Covenant hordes utilizing unique alien weapons, to see the bonds between Master Chief and the AI Cortana grow. And this was treated as secondary in the Halo TV show. Instead, the space politics, the drama that was treated as secondary in the game was now put front and center in the TV show instead. It's also so weird to read that the creators behind the show didn't even play the game.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm sorry.
It seems like the creatives simply wanted to tell their own sci-fi space drama,
We represent the vegetarian space socialists who are always right.
but realized that developing a new IP wouldn't generate quick profits. So they utilized the Halo IP as a way to attract an audience without actually intending to create a good Halo show.
Why make a Halo show?
Money.
Clearly, this approach is bound to fail. People who watch the Halo show expect to see Halo, not just another generic space sci-fi series. It's common sense. Passion for the game is a crucial factor in the success of a game adaptation. The creatives involved need to be genuinely passionate about the source material. So now imagine this, the creators of the game itself being involved. This has to succeed, right? Since there's no one more passionate about a creation than the creator themselves. Well, let's talk a bit about that aspect next. If the game developers are involved in the creation of a game adaptation, there is an immediate increase in its potential success. A great example of this is the show Arcane, produced by French studio Fortiche with close supervision from Riot Games. Arcane is widely regarded as one of the best game adaptations of all time, regardless of it being an adaptation of a highly gameplay-oriented game, therefore requiring tons of creative decision making in order to get it to work for TV. The show successfully took the game's characters, understood their essence, and portrayed their backstories with justice. This achievement wouldn't have been possible without the collaboration between the game's developers, who understand League of Legends and what makes it so successful, and the animators who know how to create a high quality animated TV show. A similar case is seen in The Last of Us, where Neil Druckmann, the game director himself, was also involved. He even directed an episode, ensuring a seamless transition from game to show. Lastly, the Cyberpunk anime is also worth mentioning. This one is a special case, since this anime was produced alongside the video game, so the game wasn't even out yet during its creation. So the creators weren't actually able to play the game while working on the adaptation. But because of the close collaboration between them and CD Projekt Red, they got the design documents and everything else they needed, including a fully explorable render of Night City to help with their adaptation. Because of this, every single location David visits in Night City in the anime is also explorable by the player when playing the game. Isn't that cool? The reason the anime succeeded is yet again because the strength of all parties involved were there. The recognizable animation style from Studio Trigger, and a super accurate depiction of what Cyberpunk is all about, because of the close collaboration with the game developers and the Cyberpunk board game creator. And what else made these three so successful? the shared passion between fanbase and creatives, and in turn a desire to do the game justice with the adaptation. And that positive communication with the fanbase is the topic I want to cover next. What does it mean to be a gamer? Well, in the eyes of many creatives, it's often associated with being toxic, stubborn, and resistant to even the slightest changes. Some even go as far as labeling gamers as racist, sexist, or homophobic.
I'm on Blog TV with my fucking hands up
for even the slightest pushback certain creative decisions get. While it is true that there are individuals within every community who exhibit such extreme behaviors, generalizing the entire fanbase is never a wise approach.
I think a lot of you gamers are actually white supremacists.
This is particularly crucial for creatives working on game adaptations, because if they genuinely perceive the community they are creating for in this negative light, any hope of a success is immediately undermined. The driving force behind gamers, as Henry Cavill put it so well, is passion, and this passion is often expressed loudly. Yes, there may be instances of individuals shouting racist stuff alongside other seriously unhinged and worthless opinions, but such negativity can be found in any sphere. Don't get me wrong, such toxicity should absolutely be addressed and fought back against, but it should not become the sole focus of attention. Doing so would only demonstrate an unwillingness to engage with the healthy, passionate side of the fanbase, the side who is genuinely critical, not because of personal bias, but because they see flaws in terms of how their favorite game is being adapted, and they want to change it for the better. A success story that exemplifies the importance of good communication is the Sonic movie. I think everyone watching remembers how absolutely horrible that first Sonic design was, and how it got memed into oblivion. Undoubtedly, the movie creators received an overwhelming amount of criticism and ridicule, to the point where they could have easily viewed the entire fanbase as toxic and said fuck it, break off all communication, cut their losses, and try to salvage what they could. However, that's not what happened. They chose to listen to the feedback, hoping that the criticism stemmed from a genuine desire to see their favorite game succeed on the big screen. They held on to the belief that if they delivered a fantastic design, there was still a chance for the movie to thrive, despite everything seemingly being lost based on internet discourse. And they made the right decision. As soon as they presented a redesigned Sonic that was faithful, the discourse completely changed. The movie received praise, and the creators' determination to succeed was applauded. Their hard work translated into not just one, but two major box office successes. In addition to the importance of positive and respectful communication from the creator side, it's essential to acknowledge the need for respect in the other direction as well, from the fanbase. Not every video game adaptation will work in a one-to-one manner. Video games are not TV shows, and they're not movies. Many changes need to be made in order to adapt them successfully. A game must leverage the strength of the gaming medium, while a show or movie must do the same for their respective formats. It requires faith in the individuals who have dedicated their lives to mastering the art of filmmaking or animation, trusting that they will bring positive and creative ideas to the table that make the game adaptation a success. To end this video, I just want to say I personally have a positive outlook on the future of game adaptations. I mean, it is abundantly clear why some adaptations succeed while others fail. In fact, it's so clear that the large majority of Hollywood must have caught on by now. Furthermore, there are several highly anticipated adaptations currently in development, like the Ghost of Tsushima movie for example, by the creators of John Wick. If that doesn't sound thrilling, I don't know what does. On a final note, it is important to acknowledge the role of the writers in bringing these adaptations to life. Therefore, I fully support the Writers Guild and their current strike for better pay and treatment. To learn more about who they are, their goals, and ways to support them, visit the website, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot, especially as a small upcoming creator. Special thanks to Asmongold for the recent boost though.
I like this guy.
Did you agree with the video, disagree, or have other thoughts about what it means to be a good game adaptation? Leave a comment down below. I love reading feedback and other people's opinions on this topic. Thank you for watching and catch you all later.